Hey, good people, and welcome to the ArtBeat, where we discuss all things art, which is what we believe to be the heartbeat of our culture and our community. I am your host, Cliff Latham, and we have my co-host here, Mr. Graylin Early.
What's good?
Say what up to the people, man.
What up, what up?
Yeah. And we have some awesome guests, some artists, some gospel artists who are going to share this platform with us today. Sylare Starks. Say good morning to the people.
How you doing?
Hey. And Darius Daniels. Excuse me. Hey, listen, that's one of my favorite preachers. Listen, Darius Darling. Okay, I got the word on my mind this morning.
That's all good with me.
Right, yeah. So we're excited to have them in here, and we're going to be talking about an event that's coming to our city next Friday, y'all. Next Friday, July the 25th, a Friday night gospel, a night of gospel music here in the city of Fort Wayne. And it's going to be presented by True Love Missionary Baptist Church's young adult ministry. Their young adult ministry, their leader, Shanika Wims, thought enough of some of the artists here in Fort Wayne and say, listen, I want to bring you guys together for a night of worship, a night of praise, a night of expressing and sharing your gifts with our community. So we're just delighted to be able to share in that event. We're going to have none other than Sylare Starks. We're going to have Darius Darling. We're going to have TeSharra Thomas, awesome artist as well, and myself, Cliff Latham Outpour Worship. So listen, we're going to be in for a good time. It's going to be some good singing, some good worshiping. Y'all know Darius, you probably going to preach, and you got all that kind of good stuff going on. So listen, Fort Wayne, make sure you all come out. This is a free event. It's free 99. Now let me explain something. It's a free will offering. So free is really never free. It costs somebody, right? So the lights that you'll enjoy, the screen, the music, the sound man, the musicians, all of these things, they are expensive. So don't just come with your praise, all right? Come with your worship offering. Offering is a part of worship. Amen. The preacher in me is coming out. But listen, come out, and it's going to be an amazing time of sharing. And we're going to talk a little bit more about some of those details as we go along in the show. I'm going to start us off real quick with a couple of questions, and really just want to kind of make sure that the city gets a chance to know you all. You all have been around here for a while, making up noise, stirring up noise. Some of you since you were knee high to a grasshopper. But I want to start with you, Sylare. Just kind of introduce yourself to us and kind of tell us how you started off in music.
Okay. Like Mr. Cliff said, I'm Sylare Starks. I come from a musical family, the Starks family. My grandfather was Pastor Ernest K. Starks. The legend.
Man.
He really is the one that started me off in music, along with my dad. Just growing up singing in his church and just hearing all the riffs and runs that my grandpa especially did, the high notes. I give that credit to him for me even being a soprano, because a lot of people think I'm an alto. I like the lower tones, but the high notes, they're from him. So just growing up in the church,
and she can sing them too.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. But growing up in the church, I really credit that to my grandpa and, like I said, my dad. And then going from there, they really just pushed me into that artist role, because my grandpa, he was a traveling quartet singer. But he chose the family route instead of going on being an artist. So he just always pushed me to go into that lane. And so I'm finding a balance between being a local worship leader but also being an artist. So it's been great so far. I'm excited for the journey. Yeah,
man. Your grandfather was very pivotal in my musical journey here in Fort Wayne as well. I love your grandfather. And your dad is a monster too. Your dad,
and he don't even like to sing no more.
My.
Yeah,
I'm talking about super smooth. I remember he came to one of my rehearsals. Man, this probably was 20 years ago, 25 years ago. A group I had here, Divine Purpose. That was before Brighter Day. But anyway, man, and I still got a recording of us in this rehearsal. Man, I'm about to cry right now, man. Like, man, that dude is super amazing.
Thank
All
you.
right. So Darius, how about you, man? How did you start off in in music? I want to talk about your artistry yet, just in music in general.
Yeah, back when dinosaurs roamed the earth. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So I grew up in a choir family. So I grew up in Detroit. All of my family members sung in the choir. So there was no choice. She was going to choir rehearsal. In fact, my mom was she was the youth choir director. My dad, even though he had, a troubled past, but whenever he was home, let's put it that way, he was in the choir. My uncle was in the choir. My grandmother sang in the choir. My aunt sang in the choir. So my godmother, everybody sung in the choir. And so I kind of got my start there and led my first song at the age of six or seven. Wow. Directed the choir at 9. Started teaching songs at 11 and 12. Oh, wow. So, it just kind of came naturally to me. And went to high school, studied music in high school, came to college, started, the choir and those type of things. So it was just always there. I've always watched different choir directors and lead singers and try to, kind of mimic what they did. I used to, a lot of my friends and family used to say I was a lockjaw singer because when I would do my runs, I would do my mouth like that all the time, and I had to learn how to get out of that quick. But it was just an opportunity to learn and grow and sit at their feet and learn from them about music and even music and God and just how all of this works together. Yeah. And so then it was all right, bet. So then it kind of grew from there. But music has always been a part of our family. We would get together on weekends, Friday nights while we playing cards and laughing and eating around the table.
Oh, y'all played cards?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah, we was good Baptists too. Oh, okay. Good Baptists too. Extremely Baptist. I'll talk to you more about that offline. Hallelujah. But we would play cards and laugh and eat, and next thing you know, worship would break out. We'll be singing around the house. You get the aunts get together and they throw them harmonies together. Yes, there's nothing like family harmony. Nothing like it. It just blends like something special.
Can I tell you something about that? Yeah. And this is, I believe, one of the reasons why so many artists and groups and stuff are disjointed. Mm-hmm. You spoke about that family aspect has such, because you got to fight together a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You got to argue. Mm-hmm. You got to know a little something. Yep. I promise you, when you hear groups like the Walls group, and it's not just that they can sing together, but
they don't struggle together.
They struggle together, that camaraderie, right? And so I always try to push, even with Outpour Worship, that we are not just a church ministry, because Outpour Worship is not even a group like that. It's it's just people who come together, right? I don't some people have groups and they go get the best singers. This is just a church,
our church choir,
and some people who,
our church
who come,
choir.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, and people from the city who want to be a part of it or whatever. But man, what I love the most about us is we love each other, right? I was on the phone with somebody today from Outpour Worship who having some transmission trouble, right? We just we do life together, and I think that's what's missing from a lot of things, man. I like that, man. Yeah. When the aunties and the uncles and the cousins
they get together and you start hearing
talk about a
never
time
heard before. Yes. And it was just kind of how everything started to develop for me, and I just used to sit there like a sponge and soak all of that up, man.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Well, Cliff, what about you?
Well, listen, my journey, man. My mother and father are singers, grandparents are singers. They tell me that my grandmother played the piano, and she didn't play the piano. she played the piano. So obviously she passed when my mother was a child, so I never met her. My grandfather played the organ at the church. By the time I was 5, I was traveling all across the Mississippi, Alabama line playing drums in the quartet group. So grew up in the quartet scene as well as in the choir scene. So I had the best of both worlds. So I had the quartet, which was my dad's Baptist side, but I grew up apostolic. Right? So I had my good choir and my good bump side. But music for me was a beautiful journey. Again, started playing drums, and so I lived in a college town, University of Alabama Roll Tide.
Lord help us.
And so they would have musicians that were in college, right? And so every 4 years after transition, one musician would leave another musician. Well, the last guy was an introvert, quiet, didn't talk, so he didn't send nobody. So we went 4 5 years. I'm talking about on the radio broadcast, everything, choir and drums. me on the drums.
Oh my!
And the choir, amen. Right,
my.
those harmonies aren't as tight, because we weren't Church of Christ. Now they don't need no music.
Lord
They
help
got the
us.
soul, but
Lord
we had
help
a soul, not that type of soul. We did the best we can with what we had. But man, story is one Saturday night I played this block chord, an A minor, a G major, F major, boom, 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 boom. I was like, Mama, that sound like Help Me Lift Them Up. Man, them ladies ran out the choir stand. How did he go to the boy? She lay hands on me, crying and spitting. I've been playing ever since.
Wow.
I promise you, like that. And so, man, just growing up, like you said, with my cousins, singing, writing songs since I was like 11, that's really my thing that I love to do, writing songs. I believe that. Well, I don't even really consider myself a songwriter. I consider myself to be a pen, because like some of the stuff I hear, I'm like, man, I don't remember it, but it's just God giving it to me. So that's kind of my musical journey and how I kind of got started. But G, ask him a question, man.
Yeah. How has your journey as an artist been?
That's loaded. Slo, you want to start? Okay. So, journey as an artist has been interesting. One, you find out a lot about people when you dip into artistry. There's a difference between just leading worship at your church or being a vessel in the church. Yeah. But when you go into artistry, it just becomes a different lane in a way, because you dip into creativity. You dip into what now is, believe it or not, perfectionism. Like, you want to present your best. You want to present excellence. And not saying that you don't want to do that in your churches, but you're also limited in your churches with the volunteers or the team that you have. So you work with what you got. But when you go into artistry, you're like, no, this is the standard and this is where it's going to be. And so you begin to work a little bit differently. You also find people who you find out the people who support you and the people who don't.
Definitely.
I had some great people when I got started who were around me, and I was like, this is top tier. I mean, y'all know C Stacks, and C Stacks came alongside. I was like, we're going to make this happen. And it was because of him that I got a lot of work done and got my first single done. And I was singing early in artistry with my uncles back home in Detroit. We were in a choir. So I got a little bit of taste of that back home in Detroit. Then I came and started doing my own thing. And it just turned it. You really begin to take some of those lessons you learned, pull them together. You see who supports you. You find out who don't. Yeah. Quickly. And you find out who don't quickly, because some people who you thought would be on your team and who were for you, you realize like, oh, you didn't like me in the first place. I was just convenient for you. So the road to artistry has been very unique for me. I think we'll be here for a whole nother hour if I was to go down the path, but just it's been very unique. But I wouldn't change it, because it is an outlet again for me to give God my very best. Yeah. Not saying that I don't at church on Sunday. Not saying that that's not anything else. It's just when I get to sit and be creative and get into that space and use the fullness of the gifts that God gave me through music and artistry. Artistry is not just the songs we sing or the words that we sing. It's also the presentation that we put on, the quality of the presentation, the excellence in which you serve is artistry. Yeah. What you wear, what you sound like, what you do, how you move, the vibe, right? The vibe you create with your music, and how do you help navigate people through the spirit realm to get to a place where they can see and experience God in a new way. That's artistry. Yeah. Yes. So a lot of people think artistry would just be, I've got a song out, I got an album, no, all of it is artistry. Definitely. So that's just my take on it. That's the quick version.
Okay. Shameless plug. If you go listen to Darius's first single, I Am Playing
Cliff
the Drums.
Is on the drums. Cliff is on the drums, 100%. Cliff is on the drums playing that thing furiously. My goodness.
Well, I'll say for me, I'm just going to say this. I never wanted to be an artist. I just wanted to worship in my church. I was a basketball player, so basketball consumed my life. So music and singing kind of became second for me. Basketball was always number one. But once I graduated, I was like, I have all these songs because like God would give me just like download stuff. Yeah. And usually it would be like in my lower times, but God would just speak through me and would give me songs. Because for me, when I was growing up, I thought being an artist would just, these people, they just put on a show. Yeah. And I never wanted to be like that. But releasing the music, it has really shown me that it takes a lot of time. Yeah. And a lot of money.
Oh yes.
But just the journey of putting out 2 songs, it took longer than I could have ever expected because you send your voice notes and then you get files back and then you're just going back and forth with musicians. So I would say that was the biggest thing. And like Darius said, people, you find out who is on your side and who's not. So it just really showed me that I have to have a team, and my support system is amazing. And it's really just my family with a few other friends. But I learned that having a support system and a team that will protect you from a lot of danger in this industry. And like I said, money. I've had to budget. I've learned how to budget through all of this. My dad, he's always on me. He's like, you have to save up for this. You can't just.
It just don't happen.
It just doesn't happen.
It does not.
So,
money don't grow on trees.
Yeah, just saving up for it, budgeting, doing all of that, and just putting my best out because, like I said, I know what God gave me, and I want to release that to the people. So that's been my biggest thing through this journey.
And I think part of that is the desire to honor God.
Yes.
Exactly.
Right? Like, because none of this, we sing, we do all of this, and we're artists, but at the end of the day, we want to honor God with what we do. So there's a level of expectation and excellence that you aspire to be at, and in order to do it well, in order to honor God, you have to do it well.
Almost,
because I refuse to give God any crap, so I'm not gonna put crap on my album.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna release a single that's halfway baked. Like we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna labor before the Lord on this one and make sure that it's what He wants and it's also pleasing to the ear.
Yes, and not letting people peer pressure you into releasing the music. That's been my biggest thing because I've thought that it would come out at one time and they're like, where's the music? When is it coming out? And they just pressing you about releasing the music. But it's important to just, you release it when it's perfect as it can be and it's glorifying God. So,
got you. I'll speak to that because that has been a blessing and a curse for me. Right. So I've probably been doing this longer than both of you all, but probably would be the newest artist of you all. Right. Because I don't have anything out yet. Right. I've put things out unofficially. Right. Unofficially. For years, like 10 plus years unofficially. But one of the things for me, I think one of the biggest things that's been my hold up is trying to make sure it's perfect. Right. And so sometimes that can be the dance that keeps you from being productive. Oh, it's not ready. It's not ready. It's not ready. Not wanting to rush, not wanting to release mess. But then where is that fine line where you draw and said, this isn't about it being perfect. This is about it blessing the people. Yeah. Right. And so there's been this struggle, this tug of war of conviction for me, because although I know people who may be in the hospital battling disease or going through divorce or dealing with things, and I'll send the music to them and they send back, or they see me and they hug me with tears. And then so at some point you like, yeah, this not ready yet, but it just helps them. Right. And it's like, how many other people could this bless? But you talking about the drum, the snare need to be a little bit loud, or all this type of things.
And Cliff, one of my mentors told me, he said, man, listen, you want to put out your best work. Yes. But what you can't do is allow no work to go out.
Exactly.
Because if you don't put out any work, you're not honoring God with what He gave you.
Exactly.
And so that was one thing. And then he also said, like, hey, people don't want to hear you perfect.
Nope.
Because perfect is unattainable.
Yeah.
So every time you go in the studio to make this little small
can
tweak,
always make another one.
You can always make another tweak.
Yep.
And if you're going to keep making tweaks,
Yeah.
you're going to be making tweaks for the rest of your life and it ain't never going to come out.
Yeah. Yep.
So you have to be okay with, hey, I want my best work to be out, but I'm also human.
Exactly.
And people have to be able to relate to the artist and know that, hey, Darius don't hit every note.
And it's
because I guarantee you I don't hit every note.
No.
I was at my live recording. I was at my live recording. I sung a song and I turned around to the background singer and said, I'm gonna have to go in the studio and redo this.
Amen.
In the middle of the session. In the middle of the session. And we went in the studio, I ain't gonna tell y'all what song it is, but I had to go back in and redo it.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't my best, but it also wasn't something that I wanted to put out there like that. And I knew God deserved better. Went back in the studio, redid it. It wasn't my extreme best, but I felt it was honoring God and what that moment was calling for as well.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
It's something to add to that because I'm in the space of, God has just spoke to me and just said, get the message out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what, at the end of the day, because you're trying to make it perfect, trying to get, the right combination of whatever it is that you have, but I've just been on this kick. You just download it in my system and just get the message out. At the end of the day, it don't have to be perfect. Just get it out.
Yeah, and I think and we'll move on from this. Where I am, I was excited. My wife had come into choir rehearsal, and I was so excited because I had wrote a new song. I was like, "Hey, baby, you got to hear this song." And she's like, we don't need another song. She's like, we need something to be out. And it really hit me, you know what I mean? And I needed her to say that to me just like that, right? And so we're in the process of getting some new music out. Actually, guys, I'm waiting on this guy to send me my final mix for our first single this morning.
Come on.
He texted me last night. He was like, I ain't going to be able to get it to you today, but I give it to you in the morning. So we got some new music coming as well. And we'll talk about that when we get ready to wrap up new music and where everybody can find your music. Now, we had this conversation pre-show, and we kind of touched on it a little bit. We want to talk about money, right? Because oftentimes, I'm going to look in the camera this time. Oftentimes, when it's time to support artists, or we have concerts, like we're saying that this event is going to be a free event. And so you all get excited about free, right? Because you always think about what you can get. And when I said a thing is free, it doesn't mean that it's free to everyone. It costs somebody something, right? And so when artists come to town and we don't support them and then we don't go, you make it hard for the city to bring things to you, Fort Wayne. And so I need us to do a better job of supporting the artists that come through here when we bring people in or when our own people are on. Let's support them because it does cost. And when you come, bring something, bring an offering, bring more than your hug and you did a good job, because those bands that you see up there, it costs money. Those lights, the facility where the concert is, it all costs. The music that we're singing and the product that we have. Don't walk past those tables and say, oh, that's amazing. Please, and then you just go download it on Apple Music. That does not really help us. I'll just be honest, right? What you guys, when you go download the music, those streams, God, listen, they do absolutely nothing.
I think let's talk about the music industry financials just a little bit. You make pennies on a penny when it comes to streaming.
Yeah.
So I could have 1 million streams of a song. That 1 million streams is only about $100-something, when you look at it. Yeah. So when it breaks down, it's a couple.
And how many of us as gospel artists are getting 1 million streams?
Nobody. Not local, not independent artists.
Right, exactly.
Especially not independent artists. And even some of the labeled artists are not. Yeah. That's not happening. But what I think is important is the support. What does support look like? Showing up, bringing an offering, bringing a love offering for the free will events. I know most people don't listen to CDs, but if people have a CD,
buy the CD.
my CD $10.
Yep.
Like buy it.
Yep.
I promise you got 17 tracks on it, and you paying less than $1 a track.
Yep.
You're gonna pay more for it if you buy it off of. You're gonna pay actually less for it if you buy it on Apple Music or anything like that. But supporting me with this physical product or the T-shirt or whatever the case may be helps the ministry, because then we can put that money back into the ministry and continue to go and continue to create new. So that support is really important. And then share it with somebody. Like tell somebody, hey, have you listened to this? If a song is a blessing to you, write a review about it. Like, yo, I listened to this song, put it on your Facebook page.
All
That's helpful.
Definitely.
Because I'm being honest, promoters go and look at your social media following. They look at your tags, see what people are saying about you. See how if you can bring that ministry to bear in person. So watch the videos, share the content that's out there so that we can get the opportunities to go out and minister even more.
Exactly. Because again, you have no idea what it costs behind the scene to make these things happen. Like my situation is a little bit different from theirs, probably because I am able to play and produce and record and all these types of things at home. But there are certain things that I want to do that I bring in my friends and the musicians who are on a different level than I am. Yeah, man, it costs us. And if this stuff is blessing you, this music is blessing you, support it. That's the only way you get more of it. Listen, I promise you, all of us have more that we want to give to you. But at some point, it just drains our cupboards. Our funds. We have families. We have other things that we want to do besides exhaust all of our funds and not be appreciated for it. And so the event that we're having next Friday, we are going to have a VIP section, right? And that's going to be $10. You can meet us and shake hands and take pictures and, maybe some refreshments and different things like that. But listen, man, support. So get that VIP experience for $10 and give an offering.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of expenses that go into putting on something. We're gonna do this in excellence. We're gonna present you with something that you're gonna enjoy. So make sure that you understand that ministry costs. It does. It really costs. So just keep that in mind. Bear that in mind.
And Sylare, I mean, new artists to the game. So and I'm saying new artists, but you've released 2 singles in the last 2 years, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So that's you making it happen. So you're being consistent. Okay. Are you seeing the same thing when it comes to support and what that looks like?
Yes. So I agree with both of you totally. Everything takes money. And what I've noticed too, it's important when we post things, share it.
Yeah.
Those go a long way because I've had people that I don't even know. They reach out and said, "Oh, I saw your music off of a shared post."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it takes nothing to share a post or share a reel or anything like that. So I think those little things are important too.
Sharing is key.
I don't mean this as in I discovered Sylare, but I came to know of Sylare by a shared video from my brother who was in Detroit at the time when she was going to school in Detroit, and she was in her car singing.
Yeah.
And then I come to find out that she's from Fort Wayne.
Right here, yeah.
And then she comes back to Fort Wayne. I'm like, yo, we got to work together. We got to do something.
Yeah.
And so now in the past year, we've been able to work together on an actual song. So sharing helps. It creates opportunities for artists to connect and for other promoters or other people in the industry to get to know about different artists out there as well.
Definitely. Good stuff. Go ahead, G.
Well, that kind of goes into what is your biggest struggle as being a gospel artist? Because there's a difference from being, a secular artist and a gospel artist. What has been some of your struggles outside of the money piece?
I would say limited opportunity. Because it's either we have to create our own opportunities and spaces, because the market doesn't really support the independent gospel artists, to be honest. And I have nothing against the Todd Delaney's, Todd Galbraith. I love them. I'm going to their concerts.
Yes.
Tasha Cobbs, Kirk. I'm running to all of them. The thing is, there's not many platforms like that for independent artists to get discovered in that way, but also to get platformed in that way. So the opportunities are small. And then, unfortunately, when the opportunities present themselves, because you don't have the name, you don't have the resource allotment to be able to present as
so
you
again, it's out of pocket.
So then it becomes back out of pocket. So we have to create our own opportunities. And so when you have to create your own opportunities, there's different things. And I hate to say that it comes back to money, but it does in a way. But I will also say that one of the biggest struggles are the opportunities. I would say in some cities, there are, dare I say, gatekeepers who are in the industry and they only want you to do stuff for them. And if they call you, you better be available. And if you ain't available, or if you don't do what they ask you to do, they ain't gonna call you no more. Or if you don't do what, they expect you to do, then they ain't gonna call you. And it's unfortunate. But one of the things that I would ask for our gatekeepers is to introduce us and give us an opportunity so that the torch doesn't die with you.
Exactly.
There are many instances in the Bible, but when Jesus came about, one of the things that he talked to the Pharisees about, they were we follow Moses. And there were people who were being saved and healed by following Jesus. And the question came up, y'all follow Moses, but he dead.
Moses is dead.
Jesus, so you're not going to experience the miracles of Jesus because you're following a dead situation. And I'm not saying that the gospel industry in our city is dead. What I am saying is there are seasoned gatekeepers that if they don't pass it on, or if they don't share platforms, it will die with them. And I don't want that for our city. I don't want that for the gospel music industry in the city.
Yeah, true.
So I would say, I believe that the artists that you see sitting here, the artists that we're platforming, sing to as well. TeSharra Thomas, I'm sorry. That's the way I know. I'm sorry, but we're ready. We've been given opportunity on national platforms and acknowledgments on national platforms, whether that be nominations, awards, whatever the case may be. They see it.
Yeah.
Help us in our own city.
Yes.
To have the opportunity and to come alongside, because we want to be vessels in this season too.
Definitely.
What about you, Sylare?
I agree totally, but I would say for me, my biggest struggle, it's just people promising something, but it never happens. So basically, if they're saying, "Oh, I want you to come to my church and do this, this, and that," we set it up, but then it's like I never hear from them again. So just really sticking to what you say. Like I said, I've experienced that in this city. I've experienced it in other cities. So that's been my biggest struggle, but especially with it being in my city, I'm like, I know I've given so much to Fort Wayne in the church scene, outside of the church. And it's like, why can't anything just, come through for me?
Yeah.
So I've just been patient. I've kept my head down. I've had my own concert. Like he said, you have to put on your own things, but it's like I really want to give back to the churches that have had great influence on me, but I just don't want things to fall through. Now I'm just like, I have a great team. Like I said, they handle business sides of things, so they're doing the talking where I'm just worrying about ministering and singing and all of that stuff. So that would be my biggest struggle right now.
Don't get mad with our team when they trying to work with you.
Yeah.
Like we put the team in place to help us, because we still got everyday jobs. We're trying to navigate that. We got families we're trying to navigate. We got other things that we're trying to navigate.
Got babies on the way.
We got babies on the Lord help me, Jesus. Help me, Lord. But so you got a lot happening.
Yeah.
And so we do have to insulate ourselves. We do have to put people around us who can help make the business happen. So don't get mad when I tell you, hey, can you fill out this Google form that lays out the information for the event rather than you texting me everything.
Yep.
Don't get mad when I say, hey, my manager's going to reach out to you and get all the details locked in, because that helps me to be able to focus on music. They focus on the details, and I just get one stream of information.
Yeah.
Like, don't get upset with me. Just work with me. Give me
You
an
have process.
opportunity.
You gotta have a process.
Got to.
And I think that kind of, I guess I'll take that as mine, that we have to come out of this local mindset, meaning that you all have to respect the artistry and art. Yes, you knew me as Lil Cliff, Pastor Latham's son on the Oregon, or that's Lil Sylare, or you know what I'm saying. But as we develop and we go into our giftings and grow, respect it. So no, we're not a Todd Delaney or these people yet. Love Todd, right?
Love.
But somebody sees us, somebody sees that in us, and they know where we're going. Not that we're, striving for any type of platform, but value us at home, right? They said a servant is not valued or welcome in his own home. And so we don't want to feel, let's make that scripture a lie. Let's try, right? We know all scripture is true, but let's try to make that one a lie. Let's support one another and push one another. All right, I'm gonna push us to our last question, and then we're gonna talk a little bit more about the event on next week, and then we're gonna get out of here. All right, what are some things that you like? And we kind of just touched on this really, but what are some things that you like to see in the gospel music culture and community here in Fort Wayne? What are some things that you would like to see change, grow, implemented, unveiled, unleashed, as we kind of talked about? What are some things that we would like to see shift in the culture, and what would your contribution be to it?
I would say we're known for quartet. I'm a quartet baby, but all we have is quartet concerts, it seems like. So I would say more worship nights, especially with the young people, and I think that's where I come in. Just really gathering, just having those nights where we're in for an hour, just worshiping and praying, doing all those things, especially because all the violence in our city.
Yeah.
And they need to see younger faces.
Definitely.
Because that's who they connect with. And just being more consistent with it. Like I said, we have a quartet concert probably twice a year, but that's pretty much it. And that's when, people come out. But like I said, I just want to be the bridge, because, I can do the worship and stuff, but I also have that old school.
Dry as a quartet song, baby.
I love quartet. So it's like I'll never forget my foundation, but I would like to expand it to, stuff more contemporary. And I hope that, those seasoned saints would catch on to that, because I think that's important for the growth of the community.
I like that, bridging the gap. That's important, because we do want to be multi-generational, because it's not just about what we like or what they like. It's about us being inclusive and, bringing this together. What about you, Darius?
Yeah, I would say collaboration.
Yeah.
Collaboration is key. We're not all enemies, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, we're in the same city. We're and it's not even a fight for the same support, like,
at all.
We're just working together. Like, when
And
you
we
got
just did
something,
that.
and we just did that. And I was just gonna get to that,
Yeah.
but we're not fighting against each other. Like,
Exactly.
we're coming together, and we're all fighting for Christ.
Exactly.
And so if we're fighting for Christ, we can come together and do it. Man, I wanted to applaud you publicly for your conference that you just pulled off, man.
Yeah.
Top tier.
Yeah.
Pulled in some of the worship leaders across the city and team members, and we just got together to worship one night and then to enrich the next.
Definitely.
That was top tier stuff. It's stuff that we have to continue to do. I'm looking forward to part 2.
Definitely.
So keep me with the
Coming.
information.
It's coming.
But I think it's important that we collaborate.
Yeah.
Sylare and I just did a song together last year.
Awesome.
We have other artists in the city that we're bringing up and that we're bringing around, so that we can start doing this stuff together. It does not. It doesn't take somebody else to say, "Oh, Fort Wayne, y'all need to get together." Let's Fort Wayne get together and show the region, the country, that, hey, wait, there's some noise going on in Fort Wayne. There's some that Northeast Indiana got something going on over there. And then we can continue to grow and elaborate and collaborate and pull things together. That's going to really be impactful for the kingdom.
I like that. There is definitely power in partnership. And I want to publicly say right here, we got to do something together too.
Yeah,
I got to get y'all out at the spot, and let's do something. Let's make something happen. Let's make something happen. So let's just close out talking about the concert, and just kind of express to you that we really want your support. We would love to see you in the building in Fort Wayne.
Come on.
Again, it's a free concert.
Come
it's a free will
on in the
offering.
room.
Hey man, listen. Make your way out. What they say, don't meet us there, beat us there.
there.
Doors open at 6:30. And it starts at 7:00. It's at New Covenant Worship Center. But again, this is put on by True Love Missionary Baptist Church. Pastor Bell, his young adult ministry had a heart to see the artists of the city come together, some of the artists of the city, to come together for a night of worship, a night of praise. And listen, we believe that it's going to be a very impactful night. Listen, we're not here to show out. I say this all the time. Every time I step on the stage, I try to put on my best performance. Performance, that word. It's not a curse word, right? I perform for God. I put on my best show. I said this a million times, and I say it till I die. If I make it to the gates, I want to know that my last praise was my best praise.
That part.
I don't want you remember that concert, or you remember that time I worshiped
you mailed it in.
Yeah, you remember in 1960? No. The last one. I want everyone to be my best praise. So come out again. We're gonna have Darius Darling. We're gonna have Sylare Starks. We're gonna have TeSharra Thomas. Listen, and she is something to be experienced as well. Okay, she gonna tell us, y'all. This is what we call quartet. She gonna tell us. Beautiful voice, beautiful spirit, humble, low key. She real chill and cool. Like Sylare as well. They super low key and chill. I mean, Darius, we just in your face.
We just out here.
I don't hear your face.
John Hannah say we out here.
Right.
We out
So
here
you're gonna get the best of all worlds, and also Outpour Worship, my young adults and young people. I'm super proud of them. And so listen, you're going to be in for an amazing time of worship. And I know we're talking about what it costs, but more than anything, bring your praise, bring your worship, bring an offering of whatever it is that you want to lay before the Lord. Bring your problems, bring your burdens. The altar is going to be open. It's going to be an amazing time for you to be enriched and for you to pour out, to cast your cares on the Lord, because he will be in the place. All right. So again, meet us Friday, July 25th. Doors open at 6:30, and the worship experience starts at 7 p.m. at New Covenant Worship Center, 3420 East Paulding Road in the great city of Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne, we love you, and we look forward to seeing you. This has been the ArtBeat. Peace.